Today we got to talk about Joey McGuire and why he is in such demand. And all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, we need to talk about Joey McGuire, who Dave Aranda and athletic director at Baylor, Mack Rhoades, is really working hard to try to keep him on staff, and there's good reason for that. And his name is being mentioned as a possible replacement for Jay Boulware at Oklahoma, and there's good reason for this. I'm going to walk this out. Joey McGuire and Baylor really started to ascend at the same time, right? And by that, I mean at Baylor. When he took the job at Baylor, you can see a direct turnaround, right? You could see that they go winning 1-11 to 7-6 to 11-3, an appearance in the Big 12 championship and their first appearance in the Sugar Bowl. And when Matt Rhule took the job with the Carolina Panthers in the NFL, there were many people that want to see Joey McGuire, who is an associate head coach at the time and defensive ends coach, get the job. Most of them were the kiddos, and most people would tell you that in coaching, don't ever go with the guy that the kids like because discipline is going to be an issue. They think they're going to run roughshod on him. You need somebody that's going to be able to exact discipline. I don't know that that would have been the case with Joey McGuire because as a player's coach, all he's done is win. Going back to when he first got his first head coaching job at Cedar Hill at the age of 31, there were older folks and alumni that did not really want to see him get this job. They wanted somebody with some more seasoning. They wanted somebody that was going to contend for titles. After 8 losing seasons and a record of 18-43 in the previous 6, he took the job in 2002, and all they did was win. His record at Cedar Hill over 14 years was 141-42. He won 3 state championships and appeared in 4, including a 16-0 run in 2006 and a top 10 finish nationally in 2014. Also in 2017, his last year at Cedar Hill, he saw 28 of his kiddos sign letters of intent to play college football, one of which is Charleston Rambo. And you know what Rambo has turned out to be at Oklahoma and how he is going to be the number 1, according to some, right? Jaden Hazelwood, Theo Weiss will probably have something to say about that, but the speed is undeniable. And when McGuire took the job, there was some scuttle about whether or not his kids would join him there from Cedar Hill. Rambo said, hey, McGuire is like a dad to me, and I really wish him the best, and I love him, but I'm going to stick with my pledge to Oklahoma. And wouldn't it be great if McGuire and Rambo got back together? But let's not knock McGuire on his chops, man. He came up coaching tight ends at Baylor. They switched him to defensive ends, and James Lockhart and James Lynch, his players. Best player on Baylor's defense, best player at Baylor, James Lynch, a kid that Joey McGuire coached his position. It's also really interesting because you get a guy that absolutely positively can recruit the state of Texas and understands the state of Texas and will have tremendous inroads with the high school football coaching community down there. Another reason why Matt Rhule was very smart to hire him in the first place. Now we're in a very interesting place with Lincoln Riley because, yes, Jay Boulware took the job at Texas, went home. Texas has acknowledged it. Oklahoma has not. So you have a position coach that you're going to need to fill, right? Whether or not that's at running back or elsewhere, we'll see. Right now, I feel like Cale Gundy's going to move back to running backs, and they're going to try to find somebody to fit either the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball because there has also been how long is Ruffin going to keep coaching, right? Ruffin McNeil, Lincoln Riley's, mentor and the first guy that ever gave him a job as an offensive coordinator, and a man that's very close to his heart and a man affectionately known as Pops. Now, there are also 2 dudes on the road recruiting for Oklahoma right now in Chip Viney and Annie Hansen's husband, Zach Hansen. Both of those guys, I think, are going to be outstanding position coach when their time comes. I know that Chip Viney is a fan favorite for the way that he's able to connect with the defensive guys. And I also understand what the appeal of a guy like McGuire is because as the associate head coach at Baylor, having the pulse of the team, being able to go between the team and Matt Rhule and have Matt Rhule pointing in the right direction about where he needs to recruit and who he needs to butter up or not, you can see what the turnaround was like at Baylor. And when Aranda got the job, the first thing that Baylor folks were like, okay, what does this mean for McGuire? Because we want to keep McGuire on. We know that Aranda is a defensive coordinator and likely to be the defensive play caller at the place where he's running it. But Mack Rhoades and Dave Aranda have not been shy about saying, we have told McGuire we want him here, and we have made an offer. Feels like Oklahoma has done the same thing, and McGuire is going to have to contend with staying at Baylor, where his kid Garrett is a quarterback, and where he knows the devil there. He also knows that Dave Aranda is going to fit the values and brings with him a national championship and a style of defense that has beat the hell out of Oklahoma at least once, right? We also know Oklahoma, six straight Big 12 championships, 3 straight appearances in the college football playoff, and you're probably going to be able to recruit at a much higher level. Not probably, you are going to be able to recruit at a much higher level at a place like Oklahoma than you had at Baylor. Just take a look at the rankings now. Oklahoma, right? Top 10, number 9. Baylor, number 54. And a couple of the kids that were brought in play the position that, yes, McGuire coached at Baylor. And by brought in, I mean their top recruits, guys like James Sylvester and whatnot. I also would really like to see a Texas high school football coach make it up to Oklahoma and really see what it's like. But what they would have to dangle out there, I'm not sure, because you might have to throw out a co-coordinator role. You might have to throw out an associate head coach role, but titles are titles. And we know that Grinch is going to run the defense. We know that Lincoln Riley's going to run the offense, and then they'll settle it out among the 10 assistants as they need to make sure everybody has the appropriate title and is paid the appropriate amount to fit that title. But it's very interesting in 2020 because now we're going to see for the first time a kid that Lincoln Riley recruited out of high school play quarterback. We're going to see for the first time what it looks like for Grinch to have I'd say more than half the starters next year are probably going to be kids that he recruited and that he had some say-so in. We'll see how deep they can rotate. It's also going to be interesting because we're going to see how much Jay Boulware fit into the recruiting efforts for Oklahoma, particularly at running back, and how much it's going to hurt or not hurt when Oklahoma plays Texas, with Jay Boulware having been on the staff since 2013, going to coach tight ends and special teams for Tom Herman. The Red River rivalry never lacks for intrigue, never lacks for battles between recruits, and now seems like we're building something else with Baylor and with this McGuire thing. Because if McGuire ends up at Oklahoma, McGuire ends up at Oklahoma, Baylor fans are going to be pissed. And I don't blame them. But that's what this sport is. This sport is the rich getting richer. If McGuire chooses to stay in Waco, man, make it worth his while. I can't wait to see what he does next. Tremendous high school football coach, tremendous pedigree, and a dude that players ride for and like is always going to be a dude that I like. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.